What's going on, guys? Welcome to Gunshot Gaming. I'm Tito Rosado, and today I'm here to tell you that in case you had any doubt that everyone hyping up the DualSense controller, the hype is real. That thing is amazing, and I'm going to tell you why right now. So once everyone got the DualSense controller in their hands as the PS5s were coming out, everybody was hyping it up. I mean, everybody was talking about the DualSense is amazing. Oh my goodness, with Astrobot, you just can feel, the difference of walking in the sand to walking in water. And, we've heard things like that before, especially when the Nintendo Switch first came out, when they talked about their HD Rumble, talking about that you can tell how many ice cubes are in the glass of the thing. And, it had its little things with like the 1-2 switch, but other than that, it really, nothing blew me away with it. So hearing with the DualSense, I kind of had my doubts about it, but was hoping it was going to be something interesting. And as it took me forever to finally get a PS5, I did get to check out my friends a little bit when he had gotten his and played some of Astrobot, and right away the DualSense, I was like, okay, yeah, the haptic feedback does feel amazing. It was awesome to feel the differences between, once again, like everybody was talking, from the different environments you were in to, when something was, blowing wind on you, you could feel the wind almost like pushing on like within the haptics. And then, the adaptive triggers did some cool stuff as well, but nothing that really kind of blew my mind there. It was really the haptic feedback that kind of, blew me away, in the sense of kind of really getting me to feel like I was playing something new. But then once I got the PS5 myself, and the bundle I received came with the game Returnal. Returnal is the first game to really make me see that, like, wow, okay, this haptic feedback is a game changer. I thought it was cool in Astrobot, that game is amazing. It's so much fun. It really is like the best tech demo ever put together. It's I can't, that game is beautiful, so much fun. But Returnal, it really kind of sets the standard for what can be done with the haptic feedback. I just feel like it enhances the experience so much more in the way that you can feel the vibrations, not only of, I've seen a lot of people talking about the rain, right? That's a big one. Feeling the rain hitting around you, the differences between when you're in that third person, which is mainly played in third person, and feeling the rain around you, to where you're inside like first person in your helmet, and the rain sounds like even thicker because you're in the helmet, so you feel it in the controller like bigger raindrops. But then for me, what even blew me away more was when you were getting to the different like monsters within the environment. Like as they get closer, you would feel like the rumble intensify, and it never felt like it was something that was like too much. It felt like it was exactly what it needed to be. And I know that's probably a terrible explanation, but it's just, it felt right. I felt like within my hands, okay, I can feel that monster is getting closer to me. I can feel that thing is getting closer, to killing me. And it just really made the experience a whole nother level. Granted, that paired with the Pulse 3D headset, it just put me in that environment. I've been glued to Returnal, and it just gets me excited for every first party, Sony PlayStation game that's going to come out going forward, because I know they're really going to put a lot into that. And it's the one feature I really hope that Xbox will take into their next series, their next Elite Series 3 controller. Like, give us that type of haptic feedback. Back in the day, Xbox was one of the first ones to put some of that stuff within their triggers, but man, you got to put it in the whole controller. Because it's funny, I was literally thinking as I was playing Returnal, I like almost want to like hold the controller tighter and have my hands around it more, so I can feel every inch of that haptic feedback, because it does make a big difference. And even after playing that for a while and then switching to my Xbox Series X right after, I'm like, this controller feels dead. Like it doesn't do anything. And I think it is cool to see that, PlayStation put that into their controller, because it does give it a next gen feel, right? While, I was using my Series 2 controller, or my Elite Series 2 controller on my Xbox One X, I'm using the same controller on my Xbox Series X. Granted, I love my Series X. That thing is amazing, but I'm not holding anything new in my hand. I'm still holding the Elite Series 2, which form factor, I think, is the best controller ever. That's just my opinion. The DualSense, while I love the haptic feedback, I'm still, I think the overall mold of the controller is a step in the right direction because it's getting closer to an Xbox controller. But I still find my hands not as comfortable holding the DualSense, even though I love the haptic feedback. And then when it comes to the adaptive triggers, so those, once again, playing in Astrobot, they had ways that you kind of feel the difference of pulling the triggers. And obviously I've heard of a lot of people talking about turning that off when it comes to playing Call of Duty because they don't want to feel the gun feeling different each time, especially for people who play competitively. But I loved it, once again, in Returnal, where the way that they used it, where it was adaptive in the sense of by holding the left trigger, you would hold it just a little bit in order to zoom in, and then you would hold it all the way down whenever you wanted to initiate your secondary fire on that weapon. And it was just done so smoothly, and you kind of didn't have to think about it. As you started playing, you just got so used to it. So I think it's going to be cool to see how more of these first-party games really take that and implement it. You know, granted, I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to be really pushed far in the future, kind of like the touchpad. You know, touchpad is kind of barely used, but especially after seeing what the new Horizon Forbidden West footage we just got, you know, every time she's pulling the bow and arrow, I'm like, you know, they're going to have some force feedback in it, because how many times when they were debuting the force feedback or the adaptive trigger, when I say force feedback, adaptive triggers, they talked about it'll feel like pulling a bow and arrow, it'll have the, you know, the tension of that. Like, they gave that line a million times every time they spoke about it. So I know we'll have that there. As I've said before in previous videos, I'm really more excited to see what they take with the DualSense when it comes to haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, and how they take that technology and put it into the controllers for the next PSVR, for PSVR 2 or whatever they'll decide to call it, because I think that's really going to take, you know, immersion to a whole nother level when it comes to virtual reality. But yeah, just wanted to share my thoughts on it in case anybody cared, because I think, you know, there's already been so many people talking about how amazing the controller is, and I just wanted to agree that it is. The DualSense is amazing. It's worth the hype. I'm glad that I was finally lucky enough to get myself a PS5 so I can start checking out all the new games that come out for the console. Super excited for Ratchet and Clank, and I still haven't gone through Miles Morales yet, so that'll be next on my list. But if you enjoy what I had to say today, please hit that like button. What are your thoughts on the DualSense controller? Let me know down below, and do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for? Have a great day.